Okay, I'm so glad I had them muted as I was getting ready, because yeah, that was an interesting beginning of the show. One of those. Might as well do one of these. Just start the show like this. Like what? What? It's right there. Just it's right there. That's what's going on. So, anyways, what's up? How's everybody doing? How's everybody's week going?
Had better weeks.
Had better weeks? You sure?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why? Oh well. Tell us what happened to you. Tell us what happened to you this week. There, Will.
I had to go to the ER because I almost got hit by a car on my bicycle, and now I'm all messed up.
Well, I mean, are you breathing?
Yeah, I am breathing.
Rub some dirt in it. You're
was
good.
actually dead.
No, are you okay though? Honestly, I haven't
Oh,
even really
yeah,
talked to you
I'll-
since
yeah,
you.
No, yeah, I'll be fine. I have a doctor's appointment on Monday to look at my shoulder, make sure nothing's torn or anything. Got a couple of stitches in my knee. It'll be pretty gnarly scar, but other than that, I'm fine.
Well, I'm glad that you're doing well, little bro. I'm glad that you're doing well. I mean,
Yeah, right. You were like, man up. Maybe you shouldn't get hit by cars.
well, you know, I mean, when you ride your bicycle in the street.
You know, a legal form of transportation, but
Yeah.
Yeah, well, legal and wise are two different things. You know what I'm saying? You know.
well,
I'm just busting. Glad you're okay. How's everybody else doing? Ollie, how was your week?
I had a really good stream before I had to pretend to be friends with you. I had a £20 donation towards my new computer from Roll Gamer. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Like,
Very nice.
I can actually
Hero.
afford a computer now and, stream and paint.
With the $20?
Well,
£200.
oh, £200 is not $200, Eric. The pound crushes the dollar.
I thought he said 20.
No,
I
it's
misheard him.
I'd be
it's
happy over 20. Played some celebration music. We danced. We talked a little bit about life, a little bit about love. Yeah, it's a good stream.
well.
it was solid.
If it makes you guys feel any better, I didn't die today. I almost did. I almost died. I didn't die today, so hopefully we don't kill a PC today. Which, speaking of, thank you, Quick. That's very sweet of you, Aaron. Apparently, somebody wants to bring you back to life. But I don't think that's how it works. I don't think we can just be like, rub the bits, clear. I don't think that's how it works. So
Yeah. That's okay.
yeah, but well,
I appreciate it though.
I super appreciate.
sweet.
I love the
Yeah.
love. I loved Odette. Odette was a great character, but not good enough, clearly, because she was the first to die. So, that all being said, why don't we get started with the show? Where did we leave off last time? I think we were flash forwarding by a couple of. Listen, I had a stressful stream for this one, so my brain's a little fried at the moment. That's okay. It's okay. Delilah, I had leveled up and I bought back her intelligence, and then she lost some wisdom. So I'm like, somebody tell me, where did we leave off last session?
Yoses just gave us a magical dagger and some money.
Magical dagger and, according to you, money.
Money.
Awesome. And then let's see. Anything else? What else happened?
Odette died.
Odette died. Yeah.
Yeah. We
Miko
went to
kidnapped.
we went to House Beneath.
Yep.
To lay low, kinda.
That's right. Okay, so this is where a few days are going to be passing, where you guys are spending some time in House Beneath. As always, let me know if the sound is off. Let me know if I'm too loud compared to them, which I very well may be, actually. I think I am way too loud compared to them. One of you guys say something.
Something.
Okay, no, you should be fine. You should be fine. So anyways, you guys were killing some time in House Beneath, as you had just said, and trying to figure out what step you're going to make next. So I'm gonna fix my camera. With a few days to kill, what was it that Luca and Stalbor, the only party members we have at the moment since Reich got kidnapped, what was it that you guys wanted to do while you're over there?
I absolutely want to buy some potions, please, sir.
Yeah, we have some money.
Absolutely.
We want to buy some.
We should
potions.
buy some potions, buy some general equipment.
Yeah.
You know.
Beautiful. So what kind of stuff you guys want to get so we can make it a little quick?
I generally want, like, maybe, because I've got the party bank, maybe like 6 health potions and just give Luca 3.
6 health
Depends
potions.
how
3.
expensive they are.
Do me a favor. Make
better
me.
than normal health potion though.
I don't need more than normal.
Yeah, I
But
kind of
maybe-
do.
Okay, maybe like 3 standard and 1 stronger.
Sure. Well, the standards go
Small
for
break
50 GP each. What are the stronger ones for? Like 300, I think.
No idea.
It varies. You
Yeah.
decide basically.
Needs 300. Make me a persuasion check.
Okay, I am persuasive.
Well, you're gonna try to be persuasive. And so what I meant to say was you buy those for 50 each, and you get that other one for 320.
Well, I'll buy Luca one greater and one standard, and then I'll buy like 3 standards for myself.
Okay, so that'd be what was it, 200 gold pieces on standards, and the greater one for 320, for the total of 520 gold spent. Okay.
Would there also be able to? Would I be able to purchase a potion of speed?
Potion of speed specifically?
Yeah.
I don't know the rarity of that one off the top of my head. Give me a second.
Yeah. Sure.
If you need me to break out the party bank, feel free. But in this time skip, Salbor spent quite a bit of money on spelling, preparing the spell book. So the party bank. How
much of our party bank did you spend?
We have just under 3,000.
I have very rare stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm seeing. Very rare, which is going to put that at very expensive, Will.
Yes.
Like thousands of gold.
Yeah, no. If we only have 3,000, then definitely not.
Yeah.
It's a haste spell, no
We
concentration.
thought we were going to
required.
save some for like future potions, future equipment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you guys wanted to get? Did you want to get the filter of love or anything like that? I don't know if you guys were hoping to have moons and skies, stars and eyes, pizza pies.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we should totally do something like that.
Yeah, no.
No, yeah, potions.
Maybe a potion of clairvoyance so you can see things like what happened to Odette, like from a mile away. So, putting all the kappa aside, you guys are there for several days. You do a little bit of shopping, get some potions, get yourselves prepared. Now, after you this time has passed, you had a little bit of time for mourning and whatnot. There is a rap tap tap at your door, at your chamber door there, Luca. And while Stalbor has his own place, Luca has like it's a room that has a room off of it that's more of like a relaxing common area or something like that. So Stalbor, because he's a little uncomfortable in this house, or makes other people uncomfortable while he's in this house, because there's not really a place for him, he will spend his night in like a small room, but then he'll actually go and spend time with you over in your place. It's much larger and more comfortable, right? So you guys hear a knock, knock, knock at the door. Before you go and answer it, why don't we rewind a second? Erin, the trip was longer than you had expected. It's been such a while since you've had to ride this portion of Lightning Rail. Usually if you're going from point A to point B, it's a little bit more rapid and certainly more smooth of a ride. But that's fine.
Right.
That's fine. You took the Lightning Rail, and it was a scenic view, one that you appreciated. Yeah, it was a waste of time. So one of the exciting parts, though, is whereas certainly the airships of House Lyrandar are significantly better than any of the other forms of travel that this world has to offer, barring a few situations, and one of them actually being the Lightning Rail up into Sharn. Right as you get into the region of Sharn and you start that climb, it actually is a genuinely amazing sight to behold. It's something that can't be compared to most other things. So you start that incredible climb, and it moves at a pretty swift pace considering the angle at which it's climbing. You have to think of it almost like a roller coaster or like a water float, like the whatever they're called, the big log ride at like a Canopy Lake or whatever amusement park, sort of a thing, where it's going up at an extreme angle and at a pretty decent pace. So you are going up and seeing all the sights of the city, the skyscape, the beauty of it, and everything. William, that's all you. You have to angle your camera up slightly. That's not me. Yeah, that's all you, buddy. So
Sure.
So you're going up and you're enjoying these sights, and that's something that you actually can take in and appreciate. But time has been wasted. The news is horrible, and you've come here to confirm it. After you've gotten off the train, could you do me a favor and just with advantage roll me a persuasion and with advantage an investigation check, please, and thank you.
Well.
There's your persuasion. Give me an investigation as well.
Yep. Demise check.
Oh!
Oh well.
Hey!
Oh, already rolls better than Odette. So, you make your
That was
way.
a 3 and a 4, by the way, for the first roll. So.
Yeah, it was beautiful. So you make your way into town and start walking around and trying to find out what you can about the situation and what you had come across. And sadly, nobody's really being responsive. I mean, they're not really giving you much information. So, of course, you're not an idiot. You go and you snag up an issue of the Korenberg Chronicle. You had read it beforehand. You grab up a fresh one, including the follow-up article that would have talked a little bit more in detail. And then you start your own investigation, not going around and talking to people, actually just like looking into details and whatnot.
Yeah.
And finally, you're able to find out the names of the people that were involved to one degree or another, and where it is that some of them are. I mean, you don't know anything about Reich. You don't know who the heck that is. I mean, it's supposedly supposed to have some prominence. There's an Odette. You've definitely heard Odette's name beforehand. It's said quite often around on there. So you've heard her name. You are familiar with who she is, but you know that's not necessarily who you're looking for. Anyways, it's one of the people. Maybe probably the best point of contact. You'll have a lot in common. Living near each other for most of your lives. Then you have Luca, who is with House Beneath, and some elf. His name's Stalbor. There's very little information about the elf as well, so he doesn't really stand out in your mind. Going by the House of Orion, trying to find Odette, you're more or less stone-walled. They're pretty purse-lipped as to why it is that they're not telling you where she is, but they're not telling you where she is or whether or not you can meet with her.
Just going to assume it's because they're an outdated house that are not doing well in business at the moment. So I'm going to try House Beneath.
That's so funny. You're bringing the hatred, exact opposite. You're literally like, I'm playing Odette, but on the other side of the fence. It's spy versus spy. You know what I mean? So then you're gonna go finding your way to the other house, where you're trying to find the information that you're coming across. So luckily for you, there was an article that talked about the person that you were trying to find, the person that had the information you needed, and so you go and go up to the house and start asking a question. Roll me persuasion this time, but without advantage. A straight up persuasion. Sweet. So with your 15 persuasion, you're able to talk to them and explain to them the significance of why it is you need to speak to Luca and whatnot. And it's not like you are escorted through the facility with armed guard, but somebody escorts you to where his room is, and they kind of like, okay, you're good, and they leave. Like once they're like, oh, it's that one right there. Good to go, and they leave you. And so they do leave you to your own devices, and you approach the door, and
I open it and I look at her.
okay. So you open the door. Could you do me a favor, Will? Could you describe? Not Will. Sorry. Could you do me a favor, Aaron? Could you describe Kieran for everybody else, because we've never met her before.
Absolutely.
Also, Ollie is not sitting there. Never mind. I wasn't going to ask him. Go ahead, Aaron.
He already linked the picture.
Oh, did you link the picture?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
It's in
Cool.
chat.
Yeah, it's right in chat.
So you see this woman on the shorter side of the spectrum. She has long, pointed elven ears, but a clearly human face. She's a half elf. She has straight jet black hair, and eyes that are just very eerie to look at. They're almost white in their blue color. She's like a very fierce looking face about her. She's just very practically, although very fine, like obviously like fabric and whatnot. But she's just in a tunic. She has boots. She has lots of belts on her, like that like weird like fantasy like archetype or stereotype where they have like tons of belts everywhere. There's that.
What's the belts?
Yep, so many goddamn belts. She has a crossbow, she has a scimitar on her, and she has 2 daggers strapped to her side.
Nice. Good. Awesome.
Oh, and she very clearly has a pendant of like House Lyrandar on
So-
her neck, the tentacles.
Once again,
Good
you
roll.
find another one of the houses in front of you. Now, just as a reminder, or in case you don't know what House Lyrandar is one of the dragon-marked houses in this world. It is exclusively half-elves that are a part of that house. They have the Mark of the Storm, the Dragon Mark of Storm, which means that they have the ability to actually control weather or electricity or thunder or water, depending on the depth of their mark and how it's expanded and so on. So because of that, they very early on were able to make a market as sailors, as people that can traverse the seas relatively safely, certainly swiftly, and transport goods. That was how they started their house. As time progressed and through the amazing innovations of the gnomish binders, one of which you had met before, they were able to learn how to bind the elementals to kyber stones and kyber shards, and use those kyber shards to give them the incredible water galleons and incredible airships that they now use to control even greater commerce and transportation. They had key roles during the last war because they were paid to be people that transported supplies from A to B, relief from B to A, soldiers from A to wherever. I mean, and to this day, they are still the safest form of travel between Sharn and Stormreach, which is the largest city and the most northern city of the continent Zendrick, just to the south of here. DDO, the MMO for Dungeons and Dragons, takes place there. All right, that is House Lyrindar. She stood there, knocked on the door, described herself.
Mm-hmm.
You open the door. Begin.
I just open the door. I don't say a word right away. I give her a look.
I'll walk in.
I wouldn't let you walk in.
Oh.
Rude.
I'll give you a look like, that's not very nice. Kieran de Lyrindar,
I'll say,
I believe you can help me.
Luca, what do you need help with?
Luca, who is it out there?
Some half-elf.
Awfully racist of you.
You'll have to be more specific.
So-
Stalbor's like back in at a chair at a desk, like right with Odette's spellbook, like
I'll just,
casting
like-
spells right now.
So, I'll totally roll my eyes, but the Stalboard wouldn't be able to see it. You would be able to see it, and I'll just open the door. Step away, and I gesture for you to come in.
Thank you.
I shut the door behind you if you come in.
Mhm.
And I'll say, so, what do you need of me?
I believe that we can perhaps help each other with an exchange of information.
Okay.
I'm looking for information on Dane and his final
Oh.
days.
Ah.
Ah,
And what information do you have to provide me?
closure, perhaps.
In what sense?
Well, aren't you curious how a man ends up dead on the side of
Closure
a
is
railroad?
important.
Yeah.
I mean, I might be mistaken, but
I am curious. Sorry, there's just that seems like it happened forever ago. I've had a lot going on. My mind's been elsewhere. But yeah, come in, have a seat. We'll chat.
thank you. I'll plop down whatever is next to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Kinda lounge.
I'll go sit down as close as I can to Stalbor to have it be two of us facing her, kind of
Stalbor.
interviewee.
Yeah, he'll reluctantly close both the spell books and put them aside.
A drink
So-
would be lovely, thank you.
I'll
We'll get
look
the lady
around.
a drink.
I'll look around and get up, go over to a decanter, pour a drink. bring it
I'll
over.
look to the elf, to Stalbar, and I'll say, certainly not House Galanda, are they? Golden Dragon Inn?
Oh?
I'm sorry, are you not from here? Are you not?
No.
Did you not get the reference? Oh, okay.
No, I'm from Melanal.
Oh. I see.
So what did you want to know about Dane? I happen to know quite a bit about the last few moments of his life.
Do you? It's actually really helpful, thank you. Nowhere else I've been to seems willing to give me information.
Well, I suppose everywhere else is bogged down with bureaucracy. We don't have any of that in the Elfin realms. We just...
Hmm.
It's not relevant. I took the time to, do a autopsy of the corpse, examine the cause of death, so on and so forth.
Did you?
Who are you?
When would that be? Or when would you have done that?
I kind of interrupt and I put the drink down in front of her on the table and say, well, I believe you came to us.
What is the drink, by the way?
It would be a whiskey.
Alright, excellent. I drink it.
I say we should, yeah, I believe you came to us. Maybe we should slow things down.
Sure.
Usually you complain that I talk too slowly.
No, not Stalwart.
Slow
no.
things down, we shall.
So, you offered for us to get closure, so you obviously know something.
I do.
What is it that you were willing to tell us?
Well, I can't tell you why he died. I can make guesses based on the information, based on what I know of him.
Okay, what would your guess be?
Well, I don't know what you know yet.
Right.
Well, then
so
you
I
have
want to
to
know. I want to
impasse.
know what your
Two.
guess would be.
What my guess would be? That he
Yeah.
slipped and fell out of the lightning rail. That's
Can
my
I?
guess.
Can I
Right.
do an insight check on that?
I'm being facetious. I'm not being serious when he slipped and fell.
Okay,
Obviously.
if she's being very overt and like if she's
Yeah.
being very obvious with her,
Yeah.
he slipped and fell, then you got it. She's
Yeah,
being
okay.
sarcastic. There's some
Yeah,
snark in
so
there.
I'm just gonna say, like, I'm just gonna look at her like, well, kind of just like a, I can get back to my business right now type of look, but I'll sigh and go, well, I mean, you want information. I mean, we would like it, but you want it, so.
Sure, fine. He was caught up in some stuff he shouldn't have been. I know about it. It might be related to how he died.
Why
Can't
do you
tell.
know about it?
Oh, he was my fiance. We were engaged.
Oh, can I? All right. Can I insight check that then?
Most certainly can.
All right. That's interesting.
You got a 12. You believe she's telling the truth.
Oh, you see, don't tell me right away. I can do things with insight, you know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do things with insight and see
No,
whether
I'm
you
not.
still.
I'm not going to. I'm not
Be
going
insightful.
He's a strong and independent fighter, Scott. You don't need
Yeah.
a DM.
To. Yeah. Anyway. I'm just gonna.
Stalwart laughs. And then
So.
realizes he shouldn't laugh.
He's dead.
And it's quiet.
So I don't get the
Uh,
humor here.
No. I'm sorry for his.
I've
behavior.
met people like Dane before. They do not have marriages. They do not have fiancés.
At least not lasting ones.
It was arranged by our house. He's
Mm.
still a very close friend of mine.
Okay.
So again, I don't understand the humor.
I look at Stalbor. I look back at her, and I look back at Stalbor. Say,
People
well,
tell me they don't understand my sense of humor quite often.
Also, he's being rude, I say, pointing to Luca. But you should know, because you're not from here, that he's actually being rude and calling me a half-elf. We're Korovar. My kind are Korovar. We don't take kindly to being called somebody's half-breeds. Just so you're aware. Being new here and all.
I will keep.
There's no
note.
excuse for you, and I kind of shake my head at Luca.
I actually don't reply to it. I just kind of like. It looks like I'm lost in thought. Then I'll look at Stalbor and say, well. I mean. What do you think, Stalbor?
Well, this all started with Dane, and I've been working on these kind of jobs since before your father was born, Luca. This case is cold, and it's not going to get much colder. More information is exactly what we need if we want to avenge Odette.
I'll nod to that.
And Rook.
Yeah, we should. I have an idea for that, but it would be nice to know information before we do anything. I'll look at her and I'll say, I'm sorry if I've offended you.
Accepted.
Perhaps we should share our stories.
Yes, share resources.
Yes.
By all means.
So I'll look at Stalbor and I'll give you like a gesture, like.
Stalbor takes a page, actually from Odette's spellbook, because it's a lighter paper, and starts drawing a medical diagram of where the injuries were on Dane, and will start
Mhm.
explaining that it's like these were almost all of these injuries were done post-mortem after he had died. The initial killing blow was from an elvish short sword, assumingly, one very precise strike. A very skilled assassin who knew to make it look like the work of some thugs.
While you're giving out information like that, one of the other things you might remember, you're a smart person. With advantage, roll me an intelligence check, please.
Me?
Si, senor.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna say while he's coming up with a thought.
Yep.
So you say you're not at liberty to discuss how he got mixed up?
Oh, I didn't say that.
No. Okay, sorry, I must have misinterpreted. Well then, perhaps you could shed some light on how he got mixed up.
Aaron, while you're contemplating your response, Stalwart, one of the things that you were to think of is, remember, he wasn't just found with this like precision like strike that was hidden underneath this beating style to try to like hide the fact that that's how he went down. He was also found almost naked. You know what I mean? Like he was found almost naked, which yeah. So you would bring that up because you were the one that found the body. Yes, it was you and.
We
You
never
said
found the body.
We didn't find
we
it.
went
We-
to go get the body. It was me and Miko. Yeah.
Yeah, we went to the morgue.
Gotcha. Okay. So he was found naked. That's one of the things that you would know.
Made
Okay.
to look like a complete theft. It's gone wrong.
Yeah, it's up to you as to what you share and what you don't know.
I actually share absolutely everything I know about the situation.
Sure.
Aside from going into the Dask stuff. Just
Okay.
like as I know about the Dane situation. And that, according to Luca, he was extremely paranoid before his death. I wouldn't know. I was having some trouble with the local city guard at the time.
Where did you speak to him?
1 second before you answer all of that, Luca, make me another intelligence check with advantage because it was only a short period of time ago.
Yep.
Wow, natty 20. Woot! That's amazing, especially since you get no bonus on it. So, he mentions the being found almost completely naked and being extremely paranoid beforehand. And mentioning those, that reminds you that what was he specifically trying to do when he was being paranoid and trying to leave that room?
He was trying to get to the rail.
But specifically prior to that, what was your actual task? And he was super furious that you weren't assisting.
Pack.
Yeah, pack.
Packing
Stuff in the
clothing.
room.
He was very
Right.
specifically trying to pack a bunch of clothing and whatnot, and then he was found naked and everything. So, take it away. Aaron, you were responding and I interrupted you.
Yeah. I said, where did you speak to him when he was being paranoid? I totally ignored what Luca said. And like just focused on what Stalbor said.
Mm-hmm.
It was the theatre house that he was working in. He had a secret room there. Quite lovely, actually. There was a pipe in the corner. But yes, he was completely out of his mind, paranoia.
Kieran will like outwardly like groan and just like hold her head for a second, like just obviously like angry, just like frustrated and angry and upset. And just pointy-eared fucks. Okay, so what he was getting mixed up in and how I know about it. Dane was a performer, but Dane was a performer. Didn't have any talent with instruments. He had on his person a magical item that could produce illusions that aided in his performance, created it almost entirely from scratch for him.
I can believe that, actually. I saw the performance.
He possesses powers of invisibility as well. And he had very recently, in the last few years, started to get it into his mind that he could do more with these things.
Was Dane a spy?
That is a very generous term for it.
I nod.
He was going to get himself hurt, eventually, or someone else.
He did get himself hurt. Well, it
Thank
looks like
you.
the wound didn't actually hurt.
The reminder.
Most of them were post-mortem, so he wouldn't have felt any pain. Would have been very quick and painless. Unless... mostly quick and painless.
I after he says this, I look at her and say, I'm the rude one. Sorry, he doesn't get social cues.
Kind of shake my head.
So do tell us about this spy business. I didn't really think that
That's all I
happened in
know.
the real world. I thought it was something that was kept up in storybooks for little children.
You really aren't from here. Okay.
That's where I get my great charm and wit.
Long story short, he overheard something he wasn't supposed to, and somebody quieted him down. I wonder who.
I also wonder who.
Okay. He was trying to leave. Where? He's trying to leave where? He didn't want to be caught in.
So funny because it is a blank
Theater
expression
house.
on both of them. It's like an
Yeah.
equal blank expression, and it's funny because
Absolutely.
Stalbor is actually smart but knows nothing about the culture here, and then Luke is just kind of like a fighter. You know what I mean? And so it's one of those like, doesn't want to be. I'm gonna throw you some more breadcrumbs. Throw you some more breadcrumbs. They're both like,
The theater house.
banana.
Which is run by. Run by.
I'm not a fan of these
House.
games.
There was quite
Ronnie?
a rude person who ran the theatre house, actually. He usually
I
had quite
imagine
some
so. You know, he's an elf, so. Anyways, House Thrani, which is an elvish house that deals with secret information. No? You don't know any of this?
I look at Stalbor and say she talks an awful lot like you.
I would take that as
Very-
an insult.
Very
haven't
slow
even-
and drawn out. She can't quite get to the point.
I'm waiting for you to catch up.
I've been listening this whole time and
Okay.
you just-
Elvish house, secret.
Elvish house, secret.
Yeah.
He
Over
was
something
a
heard.
spy.
They silenced him.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
Well, the dead are never truly silent.
thanks for that.
This is like the most awkward conversation. She's like, do you see why this is happening? And both of them like, he's dead. Who cares? Mind you, they're literally in a room mourning their dead friend for days. And she's like, let me tell you about how my fiance died. Let's talk about this. Like, yeah, but who cares about him? He was bad at music. And
Okay.
No, it's
Oh,
not
Dad.
who cares about him. He was
Interesting,
bad at
we just
music.
don't know what she's on about.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We don't.
She's
She
like
just keeps
trying to
going
have-
on, and we're like, okay. We have some pressing matters right now that have
House
nothing
that ran
to
a
do
theater
with
house
this.
killed him.
I
Theatre
could-
house killed him?
Yeah. Yes, the house that owns the theater house. Theater
Oh.
building.
sure.
House Tharani.
I
No,
can
it's,
see.
uh,
I can
Farlin.
see the point.
Farlin. No Farlin? Scott, help.
yes,
Farlin?
yes,
Farlin. Sorry, wrong one. Farlin.
yes.
I get so basically the same. So confusing.
They are. They are both the same race and they have the same
basically
mark.
So confusing. Alright. So I'm gonna go burn down a theater house. Bye guys.
Whoa. Okay, no. I don't think burning down the theater house will.
We can go and
Help.
have a very organized conversation with the people who run the theatre house, so we can see if these thoughts that you have in your head are related to truths.
We're gonna go talk to the assassins.
I've spent a lot of years talking to assassins.
I'm sure you have.
Well, I mean,
Usually they talk.
I mean,
Make them.
if you would like to go talk to him.
It
well,
seems like a
here's.
better idea than burning them down. Let me talk, Luca. Seems like a better idea than burning them down. Plus, the building was
Are you
not
sure?
made of wood. Burning it down would be inefficient and timely at the very least.
Okay. That's fair.
Plus, I would have no choice but to, tell the guards that you were burning down an establishment. So we should probably go and talk to them. Now, if we went and talked to them, you perchance maybe went places you weren't meant to in the theatre house and maybe found secret documents that they don't want you to see. Well, I couldn't stop you from doing that while I talk to the people in charge.
I'm not really a quiet person, but we can give it a shot. We can try.
It's a better idea than burning the place down.
There's always plan B.
Plan B I would go with, but fine. It's not like we were doing anything otherwise, Luca.
Doesn't look like it.
I say, well, actually, we Reich.
That's true. We have a hobgoblin co-worker
Yeah.
who has been
Wow.
kidnapped by who has been kidnapped, and we would quite like to reverse kidnap him.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. You gave me valuable information, more so than anybody's given me, and a place to attack, should I so choose later on. Why don't I help you get your friend, and then you can help me investigate this further? Does that sound okay?
Now you're
Is that-
talking
is that
about
in
a
accord?
plan. Actions are so much more important than words.
I mean, I was gonna burn down a building a second ago. It's a pretty definitive action. But yeah, definitely. Actions. Let's go save your friend.
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely. I have kind of a plan, so to speak, but I'm not sure if it'll actually work.
All right.
So Scott, I would want to. I assume that they took the few goblins that were half dead. They would have taken them into custody, or would they have left them there to die?
Left who? Right there.
There were no goblins alive in the compound.
He said there were
Yeah.
like some half-dead goblins last week. I was pretty sure. Like they were like dying.
Oh, those
but
were the
still
those are
there.
the servants, the slaves.
Yeah, the slaves.
Yeah, the ones that didn't kill you. So
Correct.
they would have been taken in to have been made better and whatnot. So questioned, and whether or not there's a trial, you don't know off the top of your head. But they certainly were taken in at least to help recover them, at the very least.
So I would say to like Stalbor, I think our best bet would probably to get information from them, and my house is quite used to hiring goblins, and perhaps maybe with a promise that my house will help them, they would give us the information. They were once slaves. If we could find their freedom,
At the very
maybe
least,
they'll-
it's a good deed.
yes, they after all were willing to not attack us.
They had very much a chance to stab me in the back, metaphorically and literally. So yes, I agree with this. You can speak their tongue. Yes.
I nod.
Good.
Well, at least you know what your house does. Can I get another drink?
I'll gesture at this point toward the drink.
Excellent.
You help yourself.
Glug.
And I do.
Before doing this, I would want to run it by my house, though. I would want to let them know that this was something I had in mind. I wouldn't want
He
to
does
just go.
this with everything. He
Do a
has
rogue.
to tell his house every time.
You know you don't
Not-
have to do that, right?
Not every time, but the reason for us obtaining these goblins and getting them into custody was my house lending us men. At the very least, we should let them know that we're looking into this even further.
I will entertain our guest while you talk to your father. And he says father, just assuming that you're gonna go talk to your dad, because that's how he still assumes the family things work.
I look at Stalbor like I want to make a point to say something, and you could see it in me. Like I let out a sigh and shake my head and walk out.
Okay. So he goes and he walks out to go find the appropriate family member. Is there anything that Kieran and Stalbor would talk about immediately, or
He's gonna start asking her a lot of questions about the Corvair, because he has never heard someone be like, "Oh, we're the Corvair,"
Corvair.
instead of just being
Corvair.
like half elf, Corvair. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like never have heard anyone just refer to
And
them like
I
that, so
will
he just
gladly
asks
talk about the long range of the Corvair.
So
Are you
the
sure?
the super short version of this, just to make it quick for everybody else, though Aaron and I just made a VOD going into more detail about this thing. Half elves are their own true race now, so it's not like, oh, human, oh, elf, half elf. That is still a thing, but they're still in this world looked upon as half breeds, like in every other world. However, then there is the race half elf. This is, ooh, half elf, half elf. And then they continue doing that generation to the point where they don't sully the bloodline by sleeping with humans or elves. It's just half elves with half elves. And they refer to themselves as the Korvar, the people of Corvair, since this is where they were bred and first came into existence after humans arrived here X period of time ago. So, you guys are having this conversation, and after a considerable amount of time of you guys chatting and Luca being gone, at Luca's door, you guys hear a...
I'll like look to Stalbor and be like, this is not my house.
Go and open the door, and I actually just open it. I don't do Lucas' thing of opening it a little bit. You just open.
Awesome. So you see Luca standing on the other side of the door, but with a nice thick beard and slightly different outfit on.
You didn't leave with a beard. Humans do not have that ability. Last time I checked.
To grow a
I do
beard?
know of powerful magics that can create a beard.
Okay, stop talking. Is Luca here?
You're not Luca.
I look
Luca
around
left.
like in like the small room.
Luca left. Who are you?
Indeed.
I'm Stalbor.
My name is Nico. I'm his brother. Is he around?
I assumed he went to go talk to your father.
My father... How long ago did he leave?
It would have been 22 minutes ago.
Excellent. I will go find... Are you his friends?
I am his friend, yes.
Great.
We
company.
barely know that
Okay.
one.
Hi.
You look across the way. Do me a favor, both Erin and Eric, if you guys could do me a favor really quickly and roll me a history check with advantage.
Yep.
Oh man,
Oh, damn it. I don't have it.
I love Stalbor.
Star Wars makes everything so awkward. So
Oh, it's so
awkward.
funny. I love that. Like, I love it. It's so funny. Painfully awkward is my type of thing.
I'll have it set so we'll do the what is it? The advantage, disadvantage, all that stuff on this character.
I can change it for you in a second, but it should be set automatically for
I'll just-
advantage if that's the case.
I'll just roll it.
If you,
Yeah, it's currently always roll advantage, so just roll
yeah, so troll.
when you roll. Okay.
They're looking at
Advantage toggle.
each other for a long, it's a long.
You're
long-
now set to toggle, okay? So roll me your advantage. There we go. So, Erin, you look across the room. He doesn't look familiar to you at all, aside from the fact that, I guess that's Luca's brother. Eric, you look across the room, and you do see somebody that you're familiar with. You see Kieran. Kieran, who is a captain of, who's a member of House Larendar, and a pretty fierce captain of naval ships. So she more often is known for her whereabouts around the Lazar Principalities, but is not located only there. She built a name for herself during the past few decades, or at least the past decade.
Okay. So, I'd kind of extend my hand past Stalbor towards
I'm still sitting
her.
down, by the way.
Mhm.
So I guess I'll just like reach up and grab your hand.
I shake
You give,
I
like,
shake
an
it
awkward shake.
vigorously. I shake her hand vigorously, and I say, "Well, I guess I'll wait for my brother. Can I come in?"
I think this is more your house than it is ours. Correct me if I'm wrong. So sure,
She is correct.
go
yes,
in.
you can enter. That is flawless logic.
I step inside. Before I step inside, I reach to my side and I grab a glaive. This huge unwieldy glaive.
It
that I
was
just
slightly
take
out of
inside.
view, is like right around the door frame, so it's all of a sudden
Yeah,
do
like
that?
glaive.
Stalbor, very not hiding it at all, walks back to the desk where the two spellbooks are and just re-straps his spellbook to his chest and puts the other one in his bag. Just like, okay, we're armed now. Okay,
So
sure.
I'm wearing very heavy plated armor, and I have a shield on my back as well as a sword strapped to my side. When I walk in with the glaive, I lean it once again against the wall, and then I go and just kind of sit down on the bed of the nearest place that I can sit, and just wait.
Okay. I imagine there's even more a bit of a awkwardness in the room now. As the three of you are sitting there just waiting for Luca to come back so that all of
We
you
were
can
just
have...
discussing the race of what did you call yourselves?
Korvar.
Korva. We were
Ah,
just having a
half-elves.
lovely discussion about the Korva.
Okay.
Yes, but apparently you're not allowed to call them half.
Well,
I would also point out the flaw in that, but I didn't know they existed.
I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to say and what not to say. But I want you to be aware that you're being insulting at the very least.
I knew
I
some
know I can hit you
people
in
that
the
would
face
say
in the
that,
future.
and they
So
got very
it's-
offended
it's-
when I said offensive things.
It's an insult to describe you. Would it be insulting to say that you're a woman?
No, different.
Sure.
And then we'll fast forward.
Yeah.
Luca, you make your way to your families, to the whoever's in whoever's in charge of the investigation that you're going through here. You wanted to go there and inform them that you were looking further into this, yes? So
yes. Actually, I'll give them my exact plan of going to talk to the goblin.
you meet up with them, and they have the meeting with you. Pleasantries all put aside. You're able to start RPing straight to it. Go ahead.
Sure. So I'm gonna. So wait? Am I sitting with just one person?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just gonna say, well, to get down to the matter, a person that was with us, as I've said, his name was Reich. He was a noble hobgoblin, and they had taken him captive.
Yes, I've seen this name before on the reports that you had given before. Yes, and I understand that he was taken captive. Yes. What of Reich?
We would like to look into his disappearance, and I figured the best way to do that would be to talk to the slaves that we had set free from the cavern.
Yes, I know his disappearance was part of the reason why you had requested we went and finished handling that area where he was taken.
Right.
I know this is a concern of yours, and you think by speaking to those that were found down below that they would be able to assist you.
I do. When we were down there, they were willing to not attack us for their freedom, and I believe if we were to go one step further and do the good deed of offering our support for them, that they would very gladly tell us where their masters had taken Reich.
Now, I understand that you're talking about making a deal with them, but prior to their offering to let you leave, they were in fact terrorists and need to stand trial for that. It would have to be a considerable amount of information they'd be willing to hand over before one could contemplate just letting them go. I mean, they were captured and imprisoned for a reason.
I agree completely. They were terrorists, even if not by choice, even if by slave and being forced to be it, they still chose to do it. I don't think it's something that we should take lightly. I don't think it's something we should just let them go. I think we need a lot of information, and I think I might be the best person to get that information.
Well, I will not stand in your way from going down there and speaking with them and trying to procure information. I just don't want you going down there and making false promises as a method to get that information. It doesn't bode well for our family. It doesn't represent us well. So if you're willing to go down there and have these talks without making false promises, you're entirely welcome to do so. This is a friend of yours, and I hope that you're able to find him in a fairly healthy condition.
I nod and I say, there'll be no promises made, only a suggestion that perhaps if things go well, I will do what I can for them, but that is as far as I will let them know.
Well, then again, you have my blessings. Go and speak with them. If you do procure any information, make sure you bring it our way so we can act on it accordingly. And
Absolutely.
if there is something of great significance they're able to offer us, maybe a deal can be made, but don't even allude to that with them because we can't be misrepresenting our house.
I nod to that.
Especially in these times where our house has already had its name put on the banners of the wrong folk.
I nod to that again, and I say, well, I appreciate your understanding.
All right. Well, Godspeed, and may Dollar watch over you.
I finish with the pleasantries and turn around and walk out.
Okay, and you go and do so. So you can either head down there to speak to them yourself, or you can go back to reunite with your friends and bring them with you to go speak down with them. More or less you understand that you have the freedom to do that. That this is an investigation you have authority in.
Right. I would bring them with me, but I'd go back to the room first.
Okay, so you guys are back at the room, and I imagine conversation doesn't get any better than it was. With
It gets better.
gosh. Oh, man.
Much better.
Much better?
I feel like we're watching the encore or something. So you guys are Luca, you come back and you hear this chatter in your room before you open the door, but nothing worth noting. And then all of a sudden the door opens up and you look across and you see straight Bacton's well maintained, though with a beard you don't remember him having the last time you saw him, is your identical twin brother.
So you see anyone who's facing toward the door, you just see my eyes get really wide.
And
I take a big deep breath in, and
Miko would stand up right away and say, "Luca!" He walks over and embraces him with a big bear hug.
I hug back, not quite as ferociously. I'm just kind of like, and when he does, you both can see my face. It's just kind of like at a loss, just like, well, shit. And I say, well, Miko, what brings you to this part of town?
Well, someone has been getting into a lot of trouble. Word is from a couple of my companions that you've made 3 separate visits to healing facilities in pretty severe conditions.
Well, I mean, people need to be defended. Our house's honor needs to be defended.
Yes, but usually when you're doing the defending, you come back in one piece. But, everyone has their own technique. I'm not going to be judgmental here. I do, and his face drops for a moment, sincerely wish to offer my condolences. It's never easy to hear when someone under your command is killed. It's unfortunate, but I don't want you to blame yourself. I know most people in your position would. I know I would, but I don't want you to blame yourself.
So at first, you see like a nod, like I'm just like, he's actually offering condolences. This is going all right.
He looks really sincere too.
Yeah. So and then he just like takes another big deep breath in. It might be mistaken by you for taking that in, like okay, but really it's just like, fuck, I'm dealing with this again. Deal with this all the time. Just like
shaking.
Yeah, yeah. It's a little like just. And then I walk over to the decanter and I pour myself a drink.
So you're not the only one whose brother makes you an alcoholic. Okay.
What time is it right now?
What was that?
Time is it in game?
Oh, because of how early all of these characters get up and do things, literally all 4 of you, how early you guys get up and start handling things. Sans maybe Stalbar, who's a night creeper and just hasn't gone to bed yet, kind of like all
I
in
don't sleep.
real life.
Yeah.
It's probably only just about noon with all things that have taken place so far.
So if he actually like when he starts taking from the decanter, I'm like, oh, so early, huh? I guess Sean really does bring up the worst and most.
It is unwise if we are to talk to some prisoners later to get intoxicated, Luca.
I
understand
Stalbar,
how you can get, and
I look Stalbar in the eye and I just knock the drink back, put the glass down, and I say, "We're gonna go talk to them now."
I'll look to Kieran and be like, humans.
Yeah, humans, right? As I'm like drinking my own drink and have been.
Exactly.
So then I'm gonna say I would like for I guess all 3 of you to accompany me, but maybe just stay back, and I don't want to scare the goblins to thinking anything bad will happen.
You're trying to save your hobgoblin friend, right?
I nod.
I heard about this guy. Noble.
I nod again. He's a hell of a fighter.
Unfortunate that he got captured. How'd that happen? You know, probably pretty big being a hobgoblin. I imagine it wasn't easy to drag him away.
Well, it was other hobgoblins that dragged him away.
Ah, yes. Outnumbered. I understand. Tactical error happens to the best of us. All right, let's go talk to your goblin. Let's go talk to your goblins.
I nod again and say, so what? So you just why are you here other than to check on me? That's it?
I'm making sure that you're safe. I don't want you to get killed. I understand that when you came to Sharn, you were really trying to make a name for yourself, and I respect that. A man's got to come and tell his own story. But
and I just interrupt you. I'm like, well, go talk to those. Go talk to them. Let's go. I walk out of the door and I'm just like,
I will swiftly follow.
Yeah.
Probably to get in between the two. Probably even Stalbor senses. Okay.
yeah, even Stalbor is like, wait, he wasn't done talking. Like,
Stalbor's gonna go and immediately start talking to Lucas, so this conversation got happening. I was like, do you want me to cast some spells? I can cast a spell that lets me understand the goblin tongue while we talk to them. It might be useful to.
I think you understanding what's being said would be a very smart thing. I wouldn't say anything quite right away.
I wouldn't be able to speak their
Ah.
tongue.
Okay.
I am very good at a multitude of languages, but Goblin does not really work from an elvish pair of lips.
Oh, so what languages do you know?
And as you guys
Place for
continue
another
this
time.
conversation down the hallway, making your way to where the goblins are, why don't we take our first break and take a couple minutes, go pee or do whatever you do, and we'll be back shortly to find out what languages you speak, or at least what the goblins have to say. So, see you shortly.
Yeah.
next time on D&D.
Yeah. Go pee.
Yeah, we're good.